Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. So today, inshallah, we will begin our chapter 5. So what is the title of chapter 5? Is about fractions and standard form. Okay, so chapter 5 is about fractions and standard form. So straight away, let us begin with fractions. Okay, so allow me to change my ink or the color. So let's start with fractions. So even though we discuss mathematics, but it's very important you know what is a fraction. So fraction is actually a part of a whole number. Is a part of a whole number. I don't have to explain to you what is a whole number today. Okay? You know what is a whole number. Okay? But for a number to be a fraction, it has its form. Its form is like this. You're going to have a number up here, and you're also going to have a number down here. Okay? The number which is up here, we call it numerator. And the number which is down here, we call it denominator. Okay? It's very important you know these differences. Okay? You need to know to identify which one is the numerator, which one is the denominator. So examples. Okay? Examples of fractions. When you have 1/2. Okay? You might have 7/10. Okay, you might have, sometimes you have the bigger number on top. Okay, maybe you have 7/2. But also you may have a lot of mixed numbers. Okay, let's say you have 8, then 3/5. It's also possible to have a fraction like this, but this one will be a whole number then with the fractions, so they have been mixed together. Okay, so these are the examples of fractions. Okay, since now we know what is a fraction, okay, now let's start 5.1. okay, chapter 5 part 1. So let's see something called equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions. Okay, equivalent fractions. First of all, I need to tell you how to read fractions. If you have, for example, A/B. This one in English is read as A/B. You see, we use the words over. Example, if you have 3 and down here you have 5, this one is read as 3/5. Okay, 3/5. We still have many other forms, okay, of reading these numbers, but this one is the most common one. Okay, we use the word over. Jadi ini cara kita baca fraction. Cara kita baca fraction itu yang di atas disebutkan dulu, baru yang di bawah, dan antaranya ada kata over. Oke, jadi contoh sini 3/5. Kalau di Indonesia kita bilang 3/5. Bisa juga 3/5. Tapi ini tidak selalu dipakai. Agak aneh sih kalau dalam bahasa Inggris. Tapi boleh saja dan tidak berubah maknanya. Okay? Yeah, so let's go to equivalent fractions. When we say equivalent fractions, okay, these are the fractions, many different forms of fractions, but at the end of the day, they have the same meaning or the same value. Jadi equivalent fraction itu ada banyak fraction, okay? Tapi nilainya sama. Okay, let's learn this one by examples. Example. Okay, find equivalent fractions of number one. They tell you to find the equivalent fractions of 1/2. Okay, how to get the equivalent fractions? I'll give you a very simple trick here to get the equivalent fractions. Okay, if you want to get the equivalent of a fraction, you just have to do one thing. Pick any number, then multiply up here and down here. For example, this is 1/2. Pick any number. I'm going to pick 2. Okay, times 2 times 2. What is the answer here? 4. 2, over 4. You see, this is an equivalent fraction of this one. Okay, jadi kalau kita disuruh cari equivalent fraction untuk fraction yang dikasih, gampang. Ambil nambah apa saja. Lepas itu kali atas dan bawah. Jawabnya itu sama. Itu adalah equivalent fraction untuk yang kita dikasih tadi. Oke? Bisa juga. Kita kan dikasih 1/2. Mau cari equivalent fraction yang lain. Ya udah, kali 3, kali 3. Jangan lupa atas dan bawah. So 3/6. This one is also an equivalent fraction of 1/2. Okay? Are they over? No, you can still do it. 1/2 times 4 times 4. You get 4/8. Is it over? No, you can actually do as many as you want. And not only 2, 3, 4. You can also go for 100, 100. See? You get 100 up here and you get 200 down here. Okay, so this one 1/2 is the same as 4/8, okay, or 2/4, 100/200. Okay, only these 3? No, masih ada banyak. Tidak akan selesai. Now let's see example number 2. Find the equivalent fractions of okay, let's say we have 3/15. Okay, the same way. Okay, so we multiply. So we have 3/15 times 2 times 2. You get 6/30. Okay, you have 3/15 times, is it necessarily to write 2, 3, 4, 5? No. Jadi tidak perlu harus ikut urutan 2, ini 4, 3, 4. Terserah kamu. Kecuali dibilang cari equivalent fraction yang pertama. Contoh 3 yang pertama. Nah, jadi harus 2, 3, 4, nah gitu. Oke. Kalau nggak dibilang tidak perlu. Oke, dan jangan buat yang sulit-sulit. Contoh, kamu mau cari jadi kali 145. Kan ini sulit. Oke, boleh, tapi jangan. Karena waktu penting sekali dalam matematik. Oke, so it's easy. 3, okay, times 3. You get 9/45. But look at this one. 3/15. This is 3/15. 3/15, you can see. Ini dulu ada nomor, kalau bisa dilihat. Karena di atas ini 3, di bawah 15. Dua-duanya ini bisa dibagi dengan berapa? Bisa dibagi dengan 3. Jadi ini sebenarnya bisa dibuat equivalent fraction pakai bagi. So 3 over 15, okay, bagi 3 di atas, bagi 3 di bawah. 3 divided by 3, 1. Okay, 15 divided by 3, 5. So even this one is an equivalent fraction. Okay, so even this one is an equivalent fraction. Jadi ini juga adalah equivalent fraction. Okay, because of this, we need to discuss about simplest form. Okay, simplest form. So for fractions, we have something called simplest form. Okay, for example, you remember this one, recall. When I say recall, it's something we discussed, okay, earlier. Okay, kalau saya bilang recall itu artinya ada yang kita sudah discuss. Contoh, ingat nggak? 1/2. Ini kita bilang bisa jadi 2/4, okay, 4/8, bisa juga 3/6, bisa juga 200/400, masih ada banyak. Oke? Nah, yang mana yang tidak bisa dibagi lagi? Karena ini bisa 2, kalau dibagi 2 kita dapat 1/2. Kalau dibagi 2 kita dapat 2/4. Ini kalau dibagi 2, 1/2. Jadi semua ini bisa. Yang mana tidak bisa dibagi lagi? Nah, ini. Yang tidak bisa dibagi lagi. Ini namanya simplest form. Okay? So, the fraction that cannot be divided anymore, cannot be simplified anymore. Okay? Simplified anymore. We call it the simplest form. Bentuk yang paling, apa ya bahasa Indonesianya? Sederhana. Okay? Ini simplest form, sederhana. Okay? Okay? So, that is that. So now let's see examples. Okay, let's see examples. Simplify to the simplest form. Sederhanakan sampai dapat yang bentuk yang paling sederhana. Let's say number 1. Number 1, you have 16 over 24. You see? Jadi ini saya akan buat 2 cara. Sama sih. Cuma untuk beberapa teman kita itu agak sulit. Okay? So, if I look at this one, I can see 16 and 24, they can both be divided by 4. Okay? Or 2. And 2, also 2. And also 8. Jadi ini semua bisa dibagi dengan 8. 4 juga. Dan 2. Okay? Jadi saya ambil yang paling besar. So, 16 divided by 8. Okay? 24 divided by 8. You get 16. 16 divided by 8 is 2. And 24 divided by 8, you get 3. You see? This is the simplest form. This is the simplest form. Jadi, tapi masalahnya bukan semua yang bisa lihat, oh ini semua dua-duanya bisa dibagi dengan 8. Nomor yang paling besar. Oke? Jadi kalau kamu nggak bisa buat dengan nomor yang paling kecil. 2 dulu. Oke, kalau bisa lanjut 3. Kalau nggak bisa 3 tapi bisa 2, lanjut dengan 2 sampai jadi paling sederhana. Oke, so this one is going to be 16 over 24 divided by 2 divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2, 8. 24 divided by 2, 12. You see? Do it again. Divided by 2 divided by 2. You get 4, and here you get 6. Okay. Then divide by 2, you get 2, you get 3. You see, until you get your answer. Sampai jawabnya ditemukan. You see, ini sama aja. Tapi ini yang bisa ingat cepat. Ini kalau nggak bisa, buat aja yang seperti ini. Okay? So let's see. Example 2. Example 2. You have 21 over 28. Okay? 21 over 28. Okay, you see? If you look at this one, it cannot, only 28 can be divided by 2. 21, no. Only 21 can be divided by 3. 28, no. You see? So here, we don't have any other choice. We have to go directly. So which number can divide both of them? 7. Divided by 7, divided by 7. 21 divided by 7, you get 3. 28 divided by 7, you get 4. You see? It's already simplified. Okay? Number 3. Sorry. Okay, number 3. Number 3. Okay, you need to change 5 over 8 into its simplest form. What do you think? I'm giving you a few seconds to think of the answer. Okay, so here, look at the numerator. It's 5. Denominator is 8. Okay, you cannot divide anymore. So this one is already simplest form. So you cannot do anything. You don't have to think much about this one. Okay, you don't have to think much about that one. Okay, so enough for today. Practice exercise 5.1, question number 1, all, question number 2, all, not so many. Okay, and inshallah our next meeting will be about 5.2, operations on fractions. Okay, that's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.